What's up, everybody watching on a computer, smartphone, tablet, or TV? This is Andy, and wow, why am I even making a pay-per-view prediction video on a Thursday? Well, this is a special occasion because we have another Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, which will be taking place tomorrow, June 7, 2019, in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia at the King Abdullah International Stadium. So if you are wondering what the start time is, I will get into it right now. So it's 2 o'clock Eastern, so that's 2 o'clock here in New York. 1 o'clock Central, so that will be Chicago. 12 o'clock noon, so that would be Denver. And 11 o'clock on the West Coast, so that would be Los Angeles. And I believe in Jeddah, they are about at least 5 hours ahead of us. So possibly their start time will be 7 o'clock out there in Jeddah. So right now, officially on the main card, we have 9 matches. We have a pre-show match, so it seems we're going to have a pre-show starting at 1 o'clock here in New York. So I think you got to wake up early. Try to wake up early if you're on the West Coast, because we have a WrestleMania equivalent show. That's what they keep building this up. Which, again, WrestleMania was just last month. And we just... 2 months ago, right. And we just had Money in the Bank last month. So, anything can happen here. Anything goes. So, a lot of big matches are on this card. So, let's just get the non-important ones out of the way first. That's how I'll organize it first. I'll go with my theory on how the card will work. So, first up, we have Lars Sullivan, 3-on-1 handicap match, taking on the Lucha House Party, Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Inchadado. It's a stupid match. Sullivan's gonna win. Sullivan's just on a tear. His goal is just destroy. And, listen, you gotta build him slowly. Otherwise, you're gonna have another mistake like Braun Strowman. That's the bottom line. I'm hoping he'll get a title shot one day. He's certainly worthy of it, just not right now. Not right now. I think the end of the year, or maybe even next year, you give Lars that push. Now, you don't do it. So, just for now, Lars keeps building momentum. He wins in Saudi Arabia, and we move on from there. And let's just get to the pre-show match. We have a tag team match scheduled. The Usos taking on the Revival. This was pretty much a match set up by Shane McMahon, because obviously we all know Shane McMahon's ties with the Revival storyline. So I don't know. I like to see the Usos win, so I'll give them the win here, just because they're seeking a little bit of revenge against SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. I just feel this is a target on Shane's back, and one of those 2 targets is the Revival. So obviously the Usos gotta defend their cousin Roman Reigns, right? So that's where we'll move on to it next. So, Roman Reigns taking on Shane McMahon. And the reason why I think Roman's going to win this match, it has to do with the fact that going back to what happened on Raw, and going back to what happened on SmackDown this week, when Shane literally used Roman Reigns' finisher, the spear, on live television. And I don't even know why Shane's even allowed to be on Raw. Oh, wait, I forgot. The wild card rule. Which, anything goes now. So, for the heck of it, Roman just wins. Because, again, he's the one that's always going to build momentum towards being back in the main event soon. And if he's not in the main event at SummerSlam, something isn't right. I mean, apparently they claim that Vince's guy is Brock, but, you know, everybody knows that the obvious future is Roman. So, Roman's obviously going to win. And from there, we'll see where the story goes for him. But Roman has to win, because if Shane wins, something isn't right. Why would they let Shane win? It would just be a dumb, idiotic win for Shane. Just saying. So, moving on, we have Braun Strowman taking on Bobby Lashley. And we have 2 giants. Obviously, Braun's the tall guy. Bobby is the veteran, I like to see Strowman win. Because if Strowman doesn't win, then why are you even having this match? Not to have Braun gain momentum to maybe try to get back in the title hunt. So, obviously, Strowman wins. If Lashley wins, I will be shocked about that as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now to a championship match for the heck of it. Let's go to... we only have 3 championship matches. The tag team championships are not going to be defended. I know for a fact Raw, Ryder, and Hawkins will not defend their titles. SmackDown, Daniel Bryan and Rowan will not be defending their titles. So I'm assuming it's Stomping Grounds. Daniel Bryan's going to make a homecoming because Stomping Grounds is in Tacoma. So obviously Daniel Bryan's fans are going to show up out there. But let's just move on. Finn Balor, the Demon, taking on Andrade. And you can't count the Demon out. So just to not summarize it, because again, I know Andrade gets this big push all the time. But Balor needs to win. I mean, he's going to be the Demon. You have him dressing up in the face paint. If he loses as the Demon, that's very embarrassing. So your winner and still your Intercontinental Champion will be Finn Balor. Now moving on to a very anticipated match. We have Triple H taking on Randy Orton. And I just think that Triple H is going to win. And the reason why I say that is because Randy's due for a big loss. You know, he's due for it. I mean, sure, Randy always tries to be in the title picture every year, but Triple H just defeated Batista 2 months ago at WrestleMania 35. So, there's more momentum, I guess, for Triple H. I expect the pedigree and a pin, and he wins the match. So, Triple H beats Randy Orton. No need to summarize it anymore. Alright, moving on. Let's go to the other championship matches. We have Kofi Kingston taking on Dolph Ziggler. And, you know, it would be interesting to see Dolph win. But I'm going to do a safe pick and say Kingston wins. Now, the reason why my preference to have Kofi winning this match is because I've told many people this, that I want to see Kofi go into SummerSlam as the champion. If he loses the belt at SummerSlam, because more times in history has told us that the title most likely will change hands at the big 4 pay-per-views with, you know, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, which again, when was the last time the title was defended at Survivor Series? But listen, I like Kofi as champion. I think he's been a great champion. He's been a great role model. This past week, if you didn't see SmackDown, he was in his home country, Guyana. You know, people love the guy. I love the. And again, you know me. I've said it numerous times and times again that I've been a believer in Kofi since 2012. Like before, I was just happy Kofi was winning all those titles, and I respected Kofi for that. But 2012 was supposed to be Kofi's year, and he was screwed back then. So I guess you could say that this is the year of Kofi. I mean, there's no debate about that so far. So Kofi's gonna win. Do I feel bad for Dolph Ziggler? I don't know. History will tell us what Dolph's career has been, but Kofi's gonna win. And if Dolph wins, then it was a good 2-month reign for Kofi. If they're gonna change the booking and say, oh, we'll put the belt on Dolph, then, you know, we gotta respect their decision. But my personal preference, I just want to see Kofi win. Just because he has my respect, he certainly earned it, and I want to see, and again, I just want to see Kofi make it to SummerSlam as the champion. It's a reasonable demand, so it's in 2 months, so we'll see what happens going into the pay-per-view in Toronto. But for now, Kofi will still be your reigning defending WWE champion. No, unfortunately, on the Raw side of things, I don't think it's going to go well for Seth Rollins. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Seth and Baron Corbin will have a grueling match. Seth defends against Corbin, but Corbin just has enough. Corbin feels like he gets screwed over time and time again, so he just beats the living hell out of Seth. Cue the Brock Lesnar music. Brock cashes in. Brock pretty much does the same thing he did back on Raw, pretty much destroying Seth Rollins, ruining his body, does the German suplex, does the F5, pins him in the ring, 1, 2, 3, and your new Universal Champion will be
the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar!
For the third time in his career, and I hate to say it, folks, but I think this is going to be a short reign for Brock. I think they're only doing it so that way they please Brock for a while until he makes that move to SmackDown. Because I still have a theory that Brock's going to challenge Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam. I still have that theory, which I'm not going to go into it now, but that's for another pay-per-view prediction video. But that's how I think it's going to go down. Sorry to say it, but Brock's going to be your new Universal Champion tomorrow. And if it doesn't happen, I'll be shocked, but I don't want to make a rant, but I just know how this is going to happen. I know how, I'm predicting it right now. This is how I think it's going to happen. So, don't need to go more into detail why. So, 2 more matches. We have WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg taking on The Undertaker. And again, you can never go against the dead man. So, the pile driver will make a comeback for one more night. Undertaker, and again, I like Goldberg. And I will say this, I have happily been in the same elevator with him. I stayed at a hotel in New Jersey once, and he was in town for Raw. Ironically, this was a true story. He was staying in my hotel in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and believe it or not, me and my dad right next to him. We didn't realize it at first, but then when we got out, my dad was like, "Wait a minute, isn't that the Goldberg guy from WCW?" I'm like, "What? That's really Goldberg?" I mean, yeah, but true story. I've been in an elevator with Goldberg, but sorry, Goldberg. Undertaker's gonna beat you. So Undertaker wins the match. Tombstone Piledriver, end of story. And this will close out the show. We have first time ever a 50-man battle royale. And I know I'm gonna go crazy for saying this pick, but the psychopath known as Drew McIntyre needs a big win. There's no question. And I know there's going to be some surprise entrants. I've heard rumors. I mean, I can't confirm this, that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are coming to Saudi Arabia. Now, originally, Aleister Black was supposed to compete in this match, but due to religious beliefs by the Saudi Arabian government, for his tattoos, he's not allowed to compete. I can also confirm that AJ Styles will be in the Battle Royale. But again, I just think that Drew McIntyre's due for a big win. If he doesn't win, I'll be shocked. And, McIntyre just needs to push. If he doesn't get a push, then something is wrong. Because I think next year will be the year of McIntyre. If he's not the champion next year, or maybe even by the end of this year, then something isn't right. Something is just terribly wrong with this booking. And, if you don't give the title to McIntyre soon, then you might have another example of another superstar who just walked out and say enough is enough, and possibly, who knows? I hope Drew McIntyre, for some weird reason, ends up in All Elite Wrestling. It's very possible. Which, I'll quickly go into my thoughts about AEW. I thought it was a good show. Double or Nothing had a great ending, especially with Jon Moxley attacking Kenny Omega. That was a fantastic ending. it just shows that, again, there's legit competition. All Elite Wrestling. This is the WCW versus WWE ratings war again. We're back at it. WWE, you gotta start getting your act together. That's all there is to it. So, with that, I have officially predicted all 10 matches on this card. So thank you all for watching. I know the next pay-per-view will be on June 23rd, which will be in Tacoma, Washington at the Tacoma Dome. We have 2 confirmed matches, Roman Reigns taking on Drew McIntyre and Bayley taking on Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship, because if you didn't see SmackDown, there was a triple threat match. Charlotte took on Alexa and she also took on Carmella. Alexa won that match on SmackDown this past Tuesday, so that's why we have that match. I'm still wondering if Becky Lynch is going to defend her title. Maybe it's another boring Lacey Evans match, but I don't know what else to say anymore. So, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you all for watching, because I'm actually recording this right before I head into Long Island Jewish today, because, time constraints, and I want to edit this when I get home from work. With that, thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.